Agni Bagori here with AFTV. I'm with
Drew?
Matt. So 1-1 here at Old Trafford. I feel like we've come against the worst United side in history. It's pretty disappointing
Worst
that
manager in history.
yeah, it's pretty disappointing that we weren't able to win here. I've seen teams like Crystal Palace, Fulham, you know, Newcastle come to Old Trafford and absolutely dismantle this team. So it was pretty disappointing to see how there was a lack of urgency in the final third. What do you have to say about that?
I think it's just tough being that we don't have much options up front right now. I do feel like Merino from the jump is probably not the best move. I'd rather go with, even if it is Sterling out wide, and put Trossard up down the middle. I feel like just don't have the options. And at this point, Prem games seems to be meaning very little with, the gap that's starting to build.
Exactly. What you think?
I think that taking off Juan Neri, we probably took him off a little too early in this game. I think he's been honestly our best attacker since we've had these injuries. And I also think that we probably could have just tried to, take corners and whip it into Gabriel this game. We were taking corners differently.
We're not scoring corners anymore.
We're not scoring them anymore.
Odegaard had that free kick chance, couldn't get it over the wall. I just think that, like we were saying, a lot of teams have beaten Man United this season. We were away, but I still thought that we just had to have a little better finishing in the final third. Odegaard, Trossard, first time finishes that they just couldn't get on the target. Raya did have a good save too. We could have lost this game, but
yeah, we could have lost this game. Do you think that's telling of like our squad? I understand that, we always talk about not having a number 9, but I felt like we were able to get into that final third. And although we don't have a specific number 9, I feel like other players could have stepped up in a game such as this. Is it telling and is it worrying for, let's say, the Champions League? Because that's really what we're going for. Like, is that seeing we have Real or Atletico next leg? What do you think will happen?
Well, being that we played Atletico in Europe in recent years, 2018, the Europa League, I think that Simeone is always tough to play against, and we can't score. So going up against a team who's going to be playing, 8, 9 behind the ball, going to be difficult. Real Madrid might be more open. We haven't played Madrid in a while, for the the hype around the match should be good to play them. But I do hope that Atletico gets through. I think Real Madrid might be the toughest side in the world. And I think that we can beat anyone on our day.
Definitely.
like we saw in the last game versus PSV, I thought PSV's been doing pretty good in the Champions League. And we won 7-1, 7 goals away. I was kind of disappointing to not see like that attacking game today. We were playing really good attacking, the whole game versus them. And if we play versus, Real, I think we're going to need Saka and Martinelli to be back. I think that, I agree with my brother Drew. I agree that Merino is not really the best option, in my opinion, to start. I think he's good off the bench. I think Trossard could play as a false 9. I think Odegaard could even play as a false 9 with Merino in the midfield. I would rather that. And I think that Real would be a really tough team to beat. We're going to have to play, our defense, I think, is our best part of our squad this season. Gabriel, Saliba, Timber, Calafiori, Skelly. The 2 young guys, Waneri and Skelly, are going to need to step up. And I think that would be a tough task to beat Real. But we definitely need Saka and some injured players to come back and help us.
Definitely. Are you guys confident? With that being said, are you guys confident in like our next round of Champions League? Because
we're so excited than I'd say confident. I'm excited to be hopefully in the semifinals, having a chance to or quarterfinals and then to the semis to have a chance to win. But I think the Prem is probably gone. Liverpool has had a really solid, consistent season, and it would just be an exciting opportunity to go far in the Champions League this season.
I think the Prem, I had been looking at it as a missed opportunity with City being, not what they have been the last few seasons. But if you look at Liverpool, they have 1 loss. Really, what can you ask for competing with them at that point? They're going to end up with 90 points. They're putting together, an all-time Prem season somehow. I think they're getting a little fortunate, but the results are the results.
So if we end the season with no trophies, would you consider this another failed season?
I would. I think it's kind of harsh to just be grading seasons on trophies. I think that Arteta's done a good job with what he's had this season. You can't really, you can't predict injuries. You can't predict that our best player, Odegaard, Saka, they're all getting injured this season.
And we've been that team that has had a season where we're finishing 5th, 4th place, whatever, and we get that silverware, we get the FA Cup. We've never been a League Cup team, but we've had those seasons where now it's like we're actually competing 3rd straight year, probably finishing 2nd. Next season, depending on what City do in the transfer market, I'm still confident about next year. I think Liverpool are going to fall off a little bit, but I think that this season, I would say it's disappointing not winning a trophy because, especially with City dropping off, like this could have been a chance where we took a step forward, but Liverpool has just been that good. So I do think that last season we made it to the quarterfinal. We scraped past Porto. I've never seen Arsenal go up in the first leg of a European leg the way we did just then. So against PSV. So maybe this year we'll get that one step further. I want to be playing Champions League games, have something to look forward to in May instead of just the season being done now.
Exactly. Well, last question. Besides the obvious reinforcements we need up top as a number 9, what in other positions, what are reinforcements that you would like to see in this Arsenal squad for next season?
Well, I think that really get quality players in, no matter where they are. Our defense is among the best in the world. I would just say do what we can to keep Saliba here, keep Gabriel here. That's why we're competing for titles. The fact that we have Saliba and Gabriel. I mean, it used to be Koscielny and Mertesacker was the best defensive pairing I'd seen. And now it's like we actually have one of the best center back pairings in the world. So I do think that just get quality in wherever it is. Obviously up top, there's not as many strikers now as there had been in the last decade. I feel like there's those few names that you see, and we're going to pay, 125 million for Isak or something. I don't know if that's really the answer, but I feel like we got Zubamendi in, right, coming in the summer in the midfield. Just get quality, whether it's on the wing, whether it's up top, anywhere. If Arteta thinks that player is going to improve and be a quality member of the squad, then I would bring him in.
Definitely. What about you?
I agree. I think that our defense is really important to our squad right now. We need to keep that intact. Our whole defense, Raya, Timber, Calafiori, Ben White, these signings that we've had on defense, Tierney, they've all been great defenders. And Gabriel, Saliba, I think they're the best 2 center backs in probably the Prem. And I think that Zubamendi is a great signing. I like him more than Partey. I think Partey lacks that sort of composure that Jorginho has to be able to keep the ball and pass the ball. I think Zubamendi's a better passer than him. So I think Zubamendi and Rice and Odegaard is a good midfield. I think that a winger like maybe Nico Williams, who we were looking at, Mudryk, all these failed guys who we've been looking at that we couldn't eventually sign because, Chelsea or other teams are going to just bid more than us. But I think the number one option is clearly getting a number 9. And I think, there is a lack of them, like somebody like Julian Alvarez. Like we need to be the next team to pick up a striker that somebody's willing to let go. Like when Man City let go Julian Alvarez and, all these teams are locking up their strikers now. Like Lautaro is signing to Inter. Like these strikers are rare. We need to get Gyökeres if we can. We need to get, a number 9 to be able to score goals. And I also think just the attack in general. I think Saka's our right wing, a left winger that could maybe play as a striker or just a class false 9. Yeah.
If there's another winger even that would replace Martinelli, I'd bring him in. Like I said, quality anywhere. Sad that we got Jesus and then Alvarez went to Atletico. It's like we got the guy that didn't end up.
Yeah, exactly. Well, thank you guys very much. Appreciate it.
Something like
Definitely.
AFTV since 2014. I remember, that season we signed Alexis in the summer. First season I started following Arsenal here in New York. My brother then gets into it the next season. And we've always played soccer our whole lives. And then just watching things like AFTV got me super into Arsenal. And I've always wanted to go to a match, be on AFTV. And it's so cool to be able to do this. So
definitely. Well, we appreciate it. Thank you very much. Thank you. Take care.
Thank you. Let's fucking go. Yes, let's go. Champions League. Let's go.
Let's go. We're winning the Champions League this season.
Believe.